A real danger that in a few months Edge Radio is going to be silenced. When you tune into 99.3, instead of hearing a diverse range of music and opinions and views, you're going to hear nothing but static. So we're here today to avoid that consequence and stop that happening.
Our current situation is one you've all read about in the media. Simply put, due to fears about the global financial crisis, we had a drop in sponsorship from local business late last year, along with some of our other funding sources disappearing, which is leaving us with a growing hole in our budget, which is not good for operating. Edge Radio supports local arts and culture. Edge Radio engages the community. Edge Radio trains tomorrow's media makers. Edge gives young people a voice and is the biggest supporter of Tasmanian music that this state has ever seen.
What other media outlet in Tasmania has a weekly slot with so many different styles of music, from folk to grunge to goth to rock? And what media outlet includes a weekly show for so many different groups? Whether it's Amnesty International show, the book show, comedy show, the Lowell Report, or the Voices of Africa show. But that diversity really needs to be championed. And it is a hard task. Each week, Edge Radio produces 100 hours of live radio with just a few full-time staff. And those staff are responsible for all the community work that Edge does. Working with schools to present the School of Rock, doing live site broadcasts around the state, and broadcasting from the Falls Festival each year. I think it would be very hard to argue to any Tasmanian why Edge should not have a future in Tasmania when you look at the great achievements and the great community spirit that provides for so many young people and so many other Tasmanians here in the state.
Everyone's first interview, if you're a band in Tasmania, happens on air with Edge. Your first live to air, your songs first get played. And that education is something that gives people the legs to move forward with what they're doing. I'd like to pose a question. What would happen if Edge Radio died? I don't think people would be crying on the streets. In 20 years' time, people aren't going to say, where were you when Edge died? But what we would see is a gradual cultural decline. We'd see rock set in the Hobart cultural market. We'd see bands not have those opportunities to connect with local media and have that launch pad into the Australian market. We'd see some rot and some atrophy set in. And that's something that would be a terrible tragedy, something that would be really sad for Hobart and all its people.
I question the use of having freedom of expression, freedom of speech, when we don't have any avenues to use those freedoms. Well, Edge Radio is the avenue by which we can express those freedoms. And is there an equivalent outlet anywhere else? Well, the answer again is no. Never underestimate the value of community groups and the motivated individuals who run them to contribute to the debate in our society and to make our society a better place. Edge Radio enlivens our democracy and supports all people in the community by providing them with access to a diverse range of views on a diverse range of subjects. So support the station that supports you. Save Edge Radio.
It occurred to me as I sat there in Macca's that here is why Tasmania needs Edge Radio. Macca's is all about the package. Dumbed down, mass culture food, easily and cheaply packaged and readily consumed. Like so many networks, dumbed down, cliche radio networks. Edge Radio puts two fingers up to all of that. It is a riposte, a bite back, a line in the sand against increasing conformity, mass dulling culture, uniformity and predictability. For God's sake, don't allow free-thinking, sometimes anarchic, radio become yet another Woolies supermarket or McDonald's, even with its free Wi-Fi.
Time and time again you hear people say, my God, look how many artists per capita there are. Look how many artists there are operating here under so many things that lead them internationally to be represented, to have a voice overseas. Edge Radio is the very sort of encompassing quilt that stitches all of those spores together. What I get from Edge Radio, and it's a bit of a selfish thing, is I get an opportunity to go out into the community and meet these fabulous people with fabulous ideas, with fabulous intentions that most people wouldn't know about. So in that respect, I'm saying Edge Radio is this massive resource. Because part of my career, or a big part of my career, is education, it is a fantastic opportunity for people to realise that that strange little creature in the little garret that's pouring their internal mechanisms out to talk about stuff which is a grand issue needs to be heard.
This is, I guess, the first step in a battle. We've had a great turnout today, but by no means is it a fait accompli either way. We've still got a chance to save Edge Radio, but it's going to be down to us whether that happens or not.